Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. Today is a very special day. This is part one of a two-part special with 6 amazing, amazing women. So first off, I have the beautiful trio of Tarashawn, Salina, and Anne. How are you ladies doing today?
Good.
So you guys may have seen, if you do follow me on social media, I'm a very big fan of the Final Girls, and their YouTube channel is something that I think is a whole lot of fun. And I'm gonna let them talk about it here in a second. But before they do talk about it, I want to remind you, not only is that link down here in the description, but as well as these beautiful women's social media pages. So make sure you're following them on social media to stay up to date, not only on the Final Girls, but what they're doing in their lives as well, because this is so awesome. So do you ladies want to give us a little bit about what you do over at the Final Girls?
Sure. So we are a group of friends and we watch horror movies. A lot of us have never seen horror movies. I mean, have you seen a lot of them?
I was not into horror movies.
Yeah.
Neither was I.
None of
us.
so sure. Yeah.
So we started this project.
Yeah. So I guess none of us initially watched a lot of them, but we all get together and we watch them and we react for all of our survivors.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And what I love about it is the fact that it's a genuine thing of, we never really got into this. So let's see how we genuinely react to something that we weren't huge fans of. So coming up with this, obviously there's 6 of you and there's a lot of different scheduling conflicts, obviously. How hard is it for you to nail down a time to just all hang out and watch a movie together?
Well, I mean, we kind of have, we
schedule it. I think,
we have
a schedule.
Yeah, it comes out like a month in advance. That way, we can see. And we have 6 of us, so usually there's just a panel of 4. So whatever 4 can make it, is how we do it.
Yeah, and we have we try to have a designated specific Saturday, like the 2nd or the 3rd Saturday of the month, and we keep it at that if we can. And I think that helps a lot, because then when we're all planning our schedules, we can just be like, oh no, sorry, it's the 2nd Saturday of the month.
That's even better.
Yeah, right.
See, it's funny because I'm an older dude and I am like a creature of habit. So I literally have a planner that I carry around with me everywhere. And my kids are like, you can do that in your phone, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're around it. Don't talk about I got the color coordinations right here. Okay, the blues are the males, the pinks are the females. We go by color coordination. I'm kidding about that part. But it is something that, and this is just me, obviously be scheduling a date with you 3 and then the 3 that'll be following. I understand the struggle of trying to make sure that everybody can do it at the right time. And it's really cool that you guys are friends that are willing to go out and do this, because a lot of times when you watch horror channels, you see people that have been into horror their whole life. I grew up in a video store. My parents owned a video store, and I always gravitated to the horror section. I thought that was the coolest shit in the world, seeing those covers. And to watch you ladies come out there and genuinely watch these for the first time and watching your reactions, it's that little shot of nostalgia of, oh my God, I remember how I felt. I can still smell the pizza rolls when I watch Creepshow, it's these things. And to watch you guys live these out for the first time is such a fun experience. So do you guys have any idea what movies you'll be watching here in the future that we can be ready for?
Nope.
Honestly, we
find out. We literally find out when we're filming.
Yes.
We get our producers will open up the movie and be like, "All right, here's the movie," and then we flip it over and see.
So it's always, that's the really cool thing about that part.
Yeah.
Is because when we do flip it over, it is a genuine reaction of, oh my God, this is what we're watching. It's never like, okay, we're going to pretend. No, it's our genuine reaction of, oh my God, this is what we're watching. And sometimes we've heard about it a little bit. So we're like, oh God, it's going to be so scary.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just waiting for the day when you open Hostel or
I remember watching that in high school, the cutting of the Achilles heel. That still gets me yeah.
One of my favorite things is that people would talk about horror movies in high school that I have never seen, and literally every time it's a movie from my youth, I'm like, no,
I didn't watch that for a reason.
I know. I have stayed away from horror movies my whole life. And now, like you said, like our reactions are so genuine.
They're really genuine.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm really grown to have like an appreciation for it, especially those like gory things. But like,
yeah, I would say that I have much more of an appreciation for horror films now. Like even the old school ones, I really like them. Like Halloween, when we watched that, when we reacted to Friday the 13th, I really actually like found I was like, okay, I actually like this a lot more than I ever anticipated that I would. So it's fun.
And I think there's something like it's awesome to watch, but at the same time, like there's this sadness that comes over me. Like you were robbed of so many years of this amazing film that you should have had already.
I don't think so.
I tried. I dabbled in horror, and I was like, I don't like that. Like, I need to be walked to the bathroom.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot of really good night's sleep because I didn't watch these
Yeah,
movies when I was a kid.
exactly.
Yes, like
Yeah. I went from
Literally-
watching horror movies to having kids. Sleep is just non-existent. It just doesn't exist in the
Nothing
Sledge
horrifying
household.
now.
no,
Right.
you can't be scared anymore.
And I want to remind everybody, and I'm going to say this probably 5 or 6 times because I strongly believe it. Make sure you're clicking these links down here, and make sure for sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. You're going to love it, and I am going to do whatever I can to get House on there. That's my first horror movie. It's my favorite horror movie. I would love to watch you guys react to it. So I'm just going to keep emailing until it finally happens.
House, like House MD.
No,
Okay,
House
fine.
from 1986.
Are you serious? That joke did not land at all. You guys.
See, now I really need to watch you guys react to this because it's everything. It's a horror movie. It's a love story. It's a missing child story. It's a Vietnam War story. Like it's everything. all rolled into one.
Not again.
Like,
Not the children.
Not the children.
Not a baby.
oh man. Listen, as a parent of 3 beautiful, amazing children that are the lights of my life, I can say with every fiber of my being, fuck them kids. Don't care about them kids. You know what? Like it's this. I watch like Pet Cemetery and see the kid get hit by the semi, and at first I'm sad, but then I'm like, oh man, like that sucks. But at the same time, he could probably afford those new shoes now. Like he doesn't have to keep mowing in the same old Nikes. Like, you know, pros and cons. I'm totally kidding. I don't condone child murder in any way. So
I kind of
obviously,
get it. It's like fuck them hypothetical children, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them TV
Not the real
children.
one.
Okay.
Money sucking mess makers, right?
Right. So, like I said, it is awesome to watch you guys react to horror movies now. And I know that you weren't always huge horror fans, but I do want to know how it started for you. So let's go back to the past. We're going to start with you, Salina. The first horror movie that you watched was
It. The 1990 version, I think.
awesome. And the good thing about It, the 1990 TV miniseries, is it still holds up today. 22 years later, 32 years later. Son of a bitch, I'm old. This movie is still talked about. It was a TV miniseries with no budget, and it's still that influential that it spawned 2 theatrical sequels or remakes, reboots, whatever you want to say. And people still talk about the 90 miniseries more than anything. So, what about you, Anne? What was your first horror movie?
I think it was Ghost Ship. And I was like 14 or something. I was like old.
Yeah.
This is an exact replica of the Ghost Ship. Man, what another movie that is criminally underrated because of how insane the beginning is. So,
It was so creepy. Like I only remember some parts of it, but it was still creeps me out. Like
yeah, I totally understand. And then Tarashawn, your first horror. This is a little different. Your first horror movies were
Yes. So my first horror movies, it's very interesting because I was like in middle school and we were having like a movie night and they're like, we're watching horror movies. So I watched 3 of them: Children of the Corn, Jeepers Creepers, and Blair Witch Project. Let me tell you, that's why I didn't watch any for so many years. It's the only ones I've ever seen. I was traumatized after that. Traumatized.
yeah. And the thing is, like, each of those movies is traumatizing for a different reason. Now, this is nothing against you, Tarashawn, I swear, but I'm going to say this right off the rip. As everybody knows, I in no way, shape, or form condone or do I support Jeepers Creepers in any way because of the Victor Salva stuff. So anything that we talk about here, obviously I'll be putting clips of the movies over top. I will not be doing that with Jeepers Creepers. I don't own the film. I'm not going to go out and buy the film because I don't believe in supporting that monster. And you know, when you hurt kids like that, I joke around about fuck them kids and stuff, but I don't know if you guys know, but the guy that wrote and directed Jeepers Creepers is a pedophile. Yeah,
that makes it even scarier now.
Yeah, and there's very, 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 there's a lot of different instances where you can see the creeper is Victor Salva himself, like, you know, creeping on boys. And that's why for me personally, and again, we'll talk about it. It influenced you. It's a part of your life, so we will talk about it. But I just want to make it known that for my own integrity, I don't own the films. I will never own the films. I will never promote or ask people to watch these films. So that's why when we're talking about certain scenes, I will not have them up for Jeepers Creepers, guys. And I'm sorry if that's not.
Don't even understand.
The pedophilia towns.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that extra bit of knowledge too, because that's
it's like I've had people ask me a lot to do like reviews of Jeepers Creepers or an in-depth, and I won't do it. And it's again, I know that you're supposed to separate the art from the artist, and Justin Long was amazing in that film. I know that there's a lot of good people that worked on the film, but I'm not putting any money in the pockets of someone that hurt children the way he did. So I just wanted to get that out there, but enough about me and Mr. Rapist. Let's talk about these amazing women. So I will go down the line here. I started the last time with Salina, so now we're going to go in reverse order this time. Do you remember, Tarashawn, about how old you were when you had this marathon?
I was in 7th grade, so like I was like 12, maybe 13. Yeah.
The craziest thing is, it's not like you watched 3 slashers or 3 paranormal movies. Each movie is such a different animal compared to the other, and they're all so scary in their own ways. So I can't wait to dig into this one. But Anna, I want to bounce back to you real quick on the ghost ship. Do you remember who you were with the first time you watched it?
It was like a sleepover. I think my sister's having a sleepover or something. It was like her friends. There was like a few of us on the couch in the living room, and middle school around that time. Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, come watch a movie about a boat with us."
Yeah, no, I knew. Like, I think somebody said that it was a horror film, and I was like, I don't want to. But everybody was, like, I'm not gonna like stay in my room and all, it's like a sleepover.
Yeah.
Is your sister older than you?
Yeah, I think it was my stepsister though. Like everybody was about the same age. Like all the girls were around the same age.
Okay, I'll say like it was that cool fitting in thing. Like I want to hang out with these people and watch this movie, and then 2 hours later you were like, "Fuck these people! I don't ever want to see them again."
Yeah, pretty much.
So Salina, let's talk about It 1990 for a little bit. I talked a little bit ago about how influential this movie is. But which scene would you say was the most effective for you from the It 1990 miniseries?
Probably when It climbs out of like the drain in like the shower. That still haunts me today. Like I couldn't take a shower by myself. I had my sister like sit and wait on the toilet for me like while I showered. It was horrible. I didn't like clowns, like, and I knew none of the clowns looked like It, but still I was like, there's probably a creepy killer under there. Like
The differences between boys and girls, because if I would have asked my brother to come in there, he would have kept turning the water from hot and cold, and B would have been like, "I'm in the sink, Ken. I'm in the sink, Kenny. Beep, beep, Richie, beep, beep." Like,
fun fact, I have 4 brothers, so I understand.
yes. If I ever, hey, will you come in the bathroom when I take a shower? My brother would be like, "The fuck? No."
He'd be like, "So I can dump cold water over the shower while you're showering."
What's wrong with you? Dude? Go take a shower, you stinky bastard. But no, and what I love about that scene is it's not CGI, it's that claymation, and like you see him rip open and then he pops up like, "How you doing, Wheezy?"
It's so creepy. Like, I was 5 when I saw it too. My mom was playing it on TV. I walked in, I'm like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "It's the movie It." I was like,
and she let you
stay? Oh yeah. She thought it was funny. She had already seen it before.
I can't lie, it's hilarious to watch kids watch horror movies. I love it. Like my oldest is down. He's like, "Yes, I love this." My 2-year-old is obsessed with Michael Myers. She thinks Michael Myers is the bee's knees. And my 9-year-old is like, "No, if it's not Chucky, no." And I've tried everything. Like we watch horror movies, and like when the scary parts come, I mute it and talk for them to make it seem like they're being silly. Like, 'cause that's what my mom did for me. Like whenever like I was getting too scared, she would mute the TV and talk like she was like a 40s mafia guy. Like, "Hey, see, blah, 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 blah." And I'd be like, "Oh, this is hilarious." you know, so
Right?
I've tried that, but my daughter's still like, no, this is stupid. I'm not doing this. So now I want to bounce back over to you, Tarashawn. We're going to talk about your amazing night. Now, what I want to know is you watched 3. So whenever I have people that have watched more than one, I ask the same question. Between Jeepers Creepers, Children of the Corn, or the Blair Witch Project, which of the 3 do you think stuck with you the longest?
I honestly think that it's very interesting that Jeepers Creepers had the pedophilia aspect to it, because that movie, for some reason, creeped me out more. I thought Blair Witch Project was going to creep me out more just because of, paranormal aspects and some of the truths that were on the set. But Jeepers Creepers just always creeped me out so much. And it makes sense now.
Right.
Why? It just I don't like it.
Something else you ladies should do. Salina and Ann, have you guys seen the Blair Witch Project?
No. I've seen clips from it. I know what it's about. I never watched it. It's too creepy. Literally, I can't watch anything.
Right. Well, you two ladies are disqualified from this. You can't do this. But Tarashawn, when we're done, go on YouTube and type in Blair Witch Project alternate endings. And they have 4 different alternate endings that came on the Blu-ray.
Oh.
And in one of them, you get to see the witch. So you should check it out. It's awesome. I'm a huge fan of the Blair Witch Project. And it's funny because I remember, and whenever I talk about this movie on here, for repeat viewers, I'm sorry you got to hear the story again. But I remember being 14, having my green mohawk, my leather jacket on, smoking a cigarette outside of my friend Sarah Tuckerman's house, and convincing everybody at the party, like, Blair Witch really happened, man. That shit's real. That's my cousin's best friend, man. They're dead. They never found them. So, just being a little punk, dumbass kid. So whatever I think of them, I remember we hadn't seen it in the cinema, and with the internet today, the way it is, they'll never have a movie have the impact that the Blair Witch did with marketing, because people didn't know. You couldn't just pull Google out of your pocket. People didn't know, is this real? Is it not real? You got Heather Donahue, unknown actress, all these unknown actors, and it's all found footage, which wasn't a huge thing at the time. And you had dumbasses like me telling people it was real. Like, yeah, my cousin's girlfriend knows Heather Donahue, man, and she's dead. She's just dead, man. She's dead from a witch. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Go watch the movie. So I think that you ladies should definitely check it out. It's found footage. Some people think it's slow, but it's a very scary movie. Like it legit is a very, very, it's a goosebump raising movie. Like when you watch the things play out the way they do. And I will say this, the theatrical ending, I think, is my favorite. I think it's the smartest, and I love the direction they went with the theatrical ending. But it is fun to watch the other 2 that Ann and Salina can't watch until they watch the movie. So and I do want to bounce over to you real quick. Do you remember which scene it was from Ghost Ship that affected you the most?
I think I put a lot of the memories out of my mind. But there is one.
This is actually a therapy session. We're trying to get you
I know. No, I would not ever be hypnotized to have these memories back. There was a scene where this guy's trying to find some food, and he's eating out of this can, but then it turns from food to maggots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just and then it's just oh God, yeah.
So Salina, I want to bounce back to you now. The It 1990 miniseries, and I know you guys, I hate saying you guys, I'm sorry. I know that you ladies aren't huge into the horror world, but as a horror fan myself and a horror nut, I love the kills. I think it's something that's awesome. I think it's very effective when it's done right. I'm not a gore porn person.
Yeah.
I don't like the twisting people's arms so the bones, that's not me. But I do love those kills. Salina, which kill from the It miniseries would you say and I hate saying favorite because super dark, but which one is the one that stuck with you the most?
Honestly, I haven't watched the movie since then, since I was 5. So I feel like just the little boy's kill is the worst one for me.
Which one?
The little boy's kill.
Oh, Georgie at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, Dad's got new Nikes. That's all I'm saying. But it is, when you start a movie, regardless of time or year or whatever, with a child dying, that. And if you really think about it, the It 1990 miniseries starts with 2 kids dying, because the movie opens with the little girl and Pennywise in the sheets, hey, and then he kills her. And then Mike finds Georgie's picture, and then we cut to Pennywise killing Georgie. So that movie starts with 2 kids dying, and we're like, yeah, I'm in.
I was a kid myself too, and I'm like, he can get me. He's gonna get me
Gosh,
next.
poor thing.
I don't think anybody can walk by a sewer grate without at least even thinking of Pennywise.
No, I
Oh,
still
like
love.
for sure do.
I pee.
I for sure
And then
do.
We
around
all float.
Halloween, like they put like those little Pennywise like faces
Oh my
with like the little
gosh.
balloon. And I'm like,
Those are the worst.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
don't
the
like it.
worst.
Walking by like, oh, real mature, guys.
Yeah.
So, Tarashawn, I want to bounce back to you real quick. Obviously, with Children of the Corn, the Blair Witch Project, and Jeepers Creepers, you had a full night of horror with you that night. Do you remember any of the kills, any of them that affected you from any of those films? And again, like what I got to remember is this was a time when you guys aren't into these, so I'm sure you weren't sitting there taking notes like,
Yeah,
bones have been ripped out. All right. Someday some sledgehammer guy is going to have some questions about this, and I'm going to remember all of it.
I need
So
to
I get
really
that, but
it. Oh my goodness. That's the very. I think it's okay because it's spotty to me. It's just when it zooms in and when the eyes are gouged out. That is the number one thing that I remember from all three movies. Is I think that movie just creeped me out the worst out of all of those. I didn't realize
What was
it.
that one in? Jeepers
Jeepers
Creepers.
Creepers. They
Yeah.
take his
Where'd
eyes
you
and
get
it's like,
those eyes?
yes.
Well,
Oh.
and what I love about the movie is as you're watching, you don't really know the intention of the creeper. Because I have seen the first one. I watched it once when I was a kid. And the thing I do love about the movie, and I hate saying that because I'm so anti, is throughout the whole movie, they're playing that song, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? You know, so they're kind of hinting at you the whole time what the creeper's after. And then you have Justin Long standing there with his eyes ripped out. And it's like, oh, I should have seen that coming. But I'm a stupid 9-year-old kid and I want to eat some more Swedish fish.
Yes.
I'm going to say this, though. Children of the Corn, I lived in and grew up in an area with, 5-to-1 ear of corn to people ratio. And that movie scared the hell out of me. Yeah, he who walks behind the rose wants you, Malachi. I'll like, better him than me. Hi, Malachi. But Children of the Corn, if you ladies haven't seen it, have you guys seen Children of the Corn?
No.
Okay. It literally starts off with a town massacre. These people go into a diner and the kids go and lock the diner door and they all start being poisoned. The ones that aren't poisoned, the kids are killing them.
What the heck?
But Ghost Ship is a fun movie. I do enjoy it. I think it's a very fun movie. Now, remakes, requels, sequels, it's kind of all the rage right now. Would you like to see a remake of Ghost Ship today?
Would I like to?
Yeah.
No.
We're traumatized for a reason, Ken.
No, I don't remember it, and I don't want to see another one. If we watch it with the final girls, of course, I'll give my take. But no, I don't. I
want to see all that.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't have a lot of clear memories, and I am growing to have some appreciation for certain types of horror movies. Like you said, you appreciate the kill. I love those. I love a surprise ending. You know,
those are good.
I don't like the creepy ones, but like the slasher ones, I'm way more into.
And that's fair. Like I said, that's what I love about horror is there are so many different subgenres for people to fall in love with. And I mean, people will literally take days to dress up like Freddy Krueger and go out to a convention. Like that's what horror means to people. And you don't get rom-com con. You don't get people going to an auditorium like, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Like that shit just doesn't happen. Which is cool. Like I said, The Notebook, top 10 favorite movie of mine of all time. I love that movie. Like I said, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Woohoo! So now you two are going to be able to cheat here for a second, Tarashawn and Anne, because I am going to ask you guys all the same question. And I never tell anybody I ask these questions. So you two get to be pumpkin eaters for a little bit, you cheaters. Salina, you're going to be on the hot seat first. We talked about your guys' first horror movies and how they affected you. And so in some cases, more than one. But now my little buddy Ghostface is going to take over for a little bit and talk to you ladies. What's your favorite scary movie, Salina? What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
I wish you would have asked me this earlier. Now I gotta think.
See, I never tell anybody I ask this question because I want the
Trick or treat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we watched that one
Always
for
want
Final
the
Girl.
most genuine response.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. That one wasn't like too scary. It had like some undertones of like I don't know, ghosty stuff. But that one was really well put together. I hadn't seen the original because there's an original, right?
Well, there's another Trick or Treat, but it's not like the
Or
same
treat, and
thing.
this one was trick
Yeah.
or treat.
Yeah. You're talking about the one with Sam, Little Pumpkinhead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought that
Yeah.
one was really good.
That's fair. So now, Tarashawn, you've got to be a pumpkin eater for a little bit, but what's your favorite scary movie, Tarashawn?
I hate to say this because it's gonna be the same one, but that one is my favorite one too.
We scored it the highest.
Because I think we scored it the highest of all of them, and I like the way it played out. There was I remember in the beginning of it, it almost didn't feel like I was watching a horror movie, and I forgot I was watching a horror movie, and I was like, oh wait, that's a scary thing happening right now. It's a toss up between that one and Friday. I don't know. I did really like Friday the 13th as well, but I think Trick or Treat is the highest for me.
I'm going to keep campaigning for this until it happens. I think we need a Friday the 13th remake with Kathy Bates playing Mrs. Voorhees. I think that would just be the dopest shit ever. Like, I think she would be so good in the role. Like, I think she would be amazing as Mrs. Voorhees. Like, I love Jason Voorhees, obviously. Jason is super special to me. The very first piece of Sledgehammer horror merchandise that was ever made was this bad boy. The half Jason, half Sledgehammer. Like that's how much Friday the 13th means to me in the Jason Voorhees aspect. But with that original, it really is a mix between Halloween and Psycho. You have the crazy mom that would do anything for her baby. But it is very slasher. So I love the original Friday the 13th. It doesn't hold up as well now. A lot of the kills are off screen, and that banana scene is extremely uncomfortable. But I love it. I love it to death. So now, Anne, Ghostface is back for you. What's your favorite scary movie, Anne? What is your favorite horror movie?
We just watched one with Final Girls recently, and I'm terrible with recall, so I'm not gonna remember the name of it. But it was the one that was like from the 80s, and they're at a camp, and you know what I'm talking about? But it's like they're like camp counselors, and they're like getting ready. I really enjoyed that one.
Was it Sleepaway Camp?
No, it was like before
Friday
the
the 13th?
counselors got, or before the campers got there. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that where the lady got decapitated with the hands?
is that it?
Yeah. I think so. When the guy was on the bed and they held him down, like stabbed him through the bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That
Okay.
one.
Friday
That's
the
the
13th.
one.
Friday the 13th. So you like the same. So that's funny.
We all like the same
We
one.
all like the same
Right.
one.
And I'm going to be honest with you, ladies. I just personally did a top 10 most overrated horror movies.
Is
And
one of them Friday the 13th?
Trick or Treat.
no, it is Trick or Treat. I listen, to me, Trick or Treat
Maybe
is
I
like,
like that one because it wasn't that scary.
I think that's why.
well, see, for me, it's like, because I love movies that have many different stories in them. I love anthology films. I like Creepshow, Tales from the Hood. These are some of my favorite horror movies. But to me, like Trick or Treat is like Starbucks or The Big Bang Theory or pop music. Like some of it I really want to like, but no matter how many times I try it, I can't get into it. Like I want to so bad. And every year, Ashley makes me watch Trick or Treat on Halloween. I'm like, this is it, babe. This is a year. I'm going to like it. And she shuts it off. She's like, did you like it? I'm like, yeah.
No.
Better luck next year.
I watch Hocus
I
Pocus
don't
on
know what
Halloween.
it is. I would love to see a prequel, though. Like to see what Sam is and how Sam became Sam. I would love to see that. I think the big thing for me is before I did this, I worked as a parapro in a school and I worked with autistic children. And that bus scene really bothers me. Like it hurts to watch that scene and I can't get past it. It's one of those things where I'm like, you're a douche. You're the worst human being I've ever seen in my life. So
I think I like it was horrible for me to watch that, but it also felt so good when they came back for him.
For the best
Right.
actor.
I think that's an aspect of horror films I like when they come back for them.
The revenge.
And the person who needs to get it gets it. I like it.
The vengeance.
I do
Yes,
love
I like
that.
vengeance.
We
Don't
can
get on
always
that
fast forward
side.
past the sexual assault and the kids being murdered to just the revenge part. We can just watch that part.
Yeah, I want to do that.
So I have one last question for you ladies, and it's going to be the same question again. So I do appreciate you guys coming on. And before that curtain drops, before the end of the third act, I want to remind everybody, Those social media links and the YouTube link is down here in the description. So Salina, again, we're going to start with you. We're going to go back to your first horror film, which is It 1990. And I think I know the answer to these, but since we're here, I got to ask the question. What we're going to do is rank these on a skull count. Now, what we're doing is we're not being critics. We're not judging these films on acting, production, score, none of the above. What we're doing here is just ranking these movies on how much they affected you. So 0 skulls being not effective, 5 being extremely effective. You can use half and quarter skulls anywhere in the middle. Salina, what would your ranking of It 1990 be?
Probably 4.5 skulls.
I figured it was up there. Like if you were that young and you
Yeah.
still remember like a clown popping through and having to have your sister take a bath.
And the teeth, like his teeth were so gross and they were so like spiky and sharp and stuff. I know.
And what I love about the 1990 miniseries version is when he is just the clown, he's beautiful. Like he's a beautiful, fun clown. And he really does portray that John Wayne Gacy, you know, clown on the outside and monster on the inside. And that's what I thought was lacking in the remake. I don't like how scary the clown looks, even when he's just the clown. I wouldn't approach him. You know, if I seen him on the street with a balloon, I'd be like, fuck this. You know, if I seen Tim Curry's, I'd walk up and be like, yay, a balloon. I'll float.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're pretty. But, you know, and the story was written, when Stephen King wrote it, he wrote it about John Wayne Gacy, you know, this beautiful clown that played with all the kids. But he was a monster on the inside that killed these kids and put them in his basement. So that's what Pennywise, the origin, that's what he was based off of. And that's what I love about the 1990 miniseries is when you look at Tim Curry, he's charismatic. He doesn't look scary. He looks welcoming. And that to me is one of the scariest things in the world. You know, as a parent, you know, this things that are so beautiful on the outside, how dirty they can be once you take that makeup off. So that is one thing I've always really respected that the 1990 miniseries did. Now, Tarashawn, how about you? We're going to do a little threesome here real quick. Children of the Corn, 0 to 5 skulls. What would you rank that one?
I would say that one was pretty high, probably like a 4.25 because it creeped me out. There's a bunch of kids. They're the ones doing the killing. I don't know. That was creepy to me. I did not like that.
I agree. That's the scariest part of it.
Yes.
When you have elderly people or children that are the villain, I don't like it. Like I can't hit you. You're my grandma.
It's eerie. It's so eerie.
I agree. Okay, well let's go now to the Blair Witch Project. 0 to 5. What would that one be?
Okay. I feel like even though I don't remember the specific parts of the movie, that one is a 5 because it's so paranormal and there's something lurking. Hidden thing about me, I am afraid of the dark. I still run and jump on my bed after I turn off the lights, and I sleep with like twinkle lights on too. This is actually my twinkle lights right here. And that's why I don't keep my feet on the ground while we're watching horror films because I'm actually afraid something's gonna grab them. So that one gave me that, like, you know, it's just in the shadow. It's paranormal. It's in the shadow. You don't really it's just so eerie. That was a 5, hands down a 5 for me.
And then Jeepers Creepers.
I feel like that one is a 5 because it just has a really creepy aspect about it. And now knowing the other things about the film that, you know, it makes sense why it creeped me out so much, especially as a child. So a 5 for that one too. Ugh.
And again, I'm sorry to everybody that wanted to see clips of that movie. If you want to, I guess buy it. I won't. So
you can support
personal thing.
Yeah, we will not be supporting or condoning that now.
Right. And what about you, Anne? Ghost Ship, 0 to 5 skulls.
Ghost Ship. Probably 5 skulls. I don't think I watched another horror movie for like 10 years.
We gotta remember that Ghost Ship literally opens with a bunch of people on a ship out at sea, and then a beam, you know, a wire breaking and cutting everybody on the ship in half. Everybody on the ship except a little girl gets halved right at the beginning of the film. She's just like, huh, that's bullshit. You know, so like I definitely get it. Like people watch the beginning and they're like, wow, I just watched a massacre with a, you know, a beam. Like it's crazy.
Oh, what else is next?
Yeah. So how are you gonna follow this up? Oh, I know. Let's cool. Sounds good. So I do again want to thank you ladies so much for taking time out of your day to get together and come on and do this with me. This has really meant the world to me. And
Thank you for having
Yes,
us.
thank you for having us.
It's
We're
fun.
happy to be
no,
here.
this was a blast. And like I said, I'm going to keep blasting that email until I see house on there. Like it's got to happen.
Okay.
So
Keep
We'll put
doing
a word
it.
in too. We'll
Yeah.
put a word in.
Keep
Make it
putting it
happen.
on there because we do pull from, well, we don't, but from the lists, it gets pulled.
It does. We
I'm
write
saying
down all of the recommendations.
I'll even send a copy. Like I would do it just to watch you ladies react to it. Like that's how much I need to see this. So please don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions for you ladies. Everybody else, as always, click those links in the description. Keep talking horror, stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.